Wolf Children is a 2012 feature-length anime release directed by Mamoru Hosoda. Now, Mamoru Hosoda has pretty good kind of street credibility with me at the moment because he directed two other of my most favourite feature-length anime films from the last couple of years, namely Summer Wars and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. So does Wolf Children, I suppose, live up to the quality of those previous two films? In short, yes it does. This is an excellent film. It's a very tender, very moving portrait of a single parent trying to raise kids in very difficult circumstances. The film starts off and we're introduced to Hana, who's about 19, she's a college student, and she falls in love with this guy. As her relationship develops with the guy, she realises that, he's half wolf. Subsequently, she's pregnant, she has two children, and they're half human and they're half wolf. Now, tragedy strikes and she's left on her own, and in order to, I suppose, raise her kids in a more secure environment, because she is afraid of how people will react, because if the children are seen sort of in their wolf state, she moves to the country to a very isolated village. And after this we see a process of her becoming very independent and self-reliant. She moves into a house which needs an awful lot of work. She does the work herself, she starts growing her own food, and at the same time we see the struggles of a single parent coming to terms with raising two children when she has nobody to help her. She has no reference point for the fact that the children sometimes are human and sometimes are wolves, and this is very difficult on her. The two children are Yuki and Ame. Yuki is slightly older, she's the daughter, and Ame is the son. He's more introspective while Yuki is a bit more outgoing. When they start school, Yuki is much more, I suppose, kind of into going to school. She really wants to go, whereas Ame doesn't really want to, and he's more attuned to spending time with nature and being in the forest. So the film itself really kind of is, I suppose, it's a very good portrait of what it takes to be a parent, and there are themes here of loneliness, sometimes desperation, single parenting, themes of isolation, and sort of, I suppose, not knowing what your place is in the world, because she does spend an awful lot of time fretting about raising her children right, because sometimes they're human, sometimes they're wolves, and she wants to, I suppose, give the children their own independence of thought and put them on their own path. But it's kind of coming to terms in terms of how she does that represents the most difficulties for Hana in the film. The film itself is about 117 minutes long. It's a bit of a slow burner, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's not really it isn't really a children's film. It's more a film for mature audiences. There are no themes of sex and violence or anything like that, but the film is quite it's a drama, and it's played out over the course of a number of years while Hana raises her children. The animation is crisp and it's beautiful. It really kind of evokes a lot of feeling of some of Ghibli's best work, like My Neighbor Totoro in particular. If you see this picture of the house that she moves into to do up, the surrounding area and the house itself does kind of give me pause for thought when I see that, and I'm thinking of Satsuki and Mei's house and the surrounding area from My Neighbor Totoro. Incidentally, I know Mamoru Hosoda actually was originally going to direct Howl's Moving Castle, but he was taken off the project before he did. So he does have an association with, I suppose, with Ghibli, and you can see it in relation to this film. It's beautiful. The film itself is absolutely gorgeous. I would thoroughly recommend it. Really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful depiction of a single parent trying to raise a family and trying to do it right. And ultimately, it's a very optimistic and a very uplifting film. Even though there are moments of sadness in this, ultimately it's quite uplifting and quite inspiring. So check it out. Check Wolf Children. It's available on Blu-ray and DVD. I got it the other day and thoroughly enjoyed it. Check it out.